Game Demo!
Hey everybody, it's Ricardo, and I am here with Seth Killian from Capcom, and we are talking about Super Street Fighter 4 3D Edition, which is out on the 3DS. So Seth, you guys have brought it by. We had a check at the import version. This is now in English, which is good. So talk to us about the different modes and whatnot for folks that haven't been following it.
Okay, well, I mean, the great news about 3D Edition with Super Street Fighter 4 is it's basically everything that you might be hoping for from the sort of console experience transferred into a handheld, but with a lot of fun extra new features that really show off the 3D editions.
So one thing that we should point out before we start diving into all this footage of Street Fighter is that obviously for the folks at home that don't have the special Nintendo hardware in your computer, in terms of like the two stacked screens, this is not going to look 3D if we were showing you 3D footage. So what we've done is we're basically pulling 2D footage of the 3D game just so you can see the visual quality. You're not getting any 3D effect, and we do apologize, but we're still working on ways to show that off too. But for right now, you're just going to believe us, this is hecka 3D. Am I right?
Beautiful.
There you go.
So we've got our arcade, it's a standard versus the computer. Our versus, 3D versus, which is sort of a new dynamic over-the-shoulder view, where really it's almost like a third-person shooter, and really lets the 3D camera pop in a great way. Internet Match, of course, will be the only game at launch to have global online, so you can play wirelessly, local, or anybody around the world.
I can verify that. I was playing with the Japanese version, and I was playing people in Japan.
Challenge modes, things you remember like the Car Crusher and Barrel Crusher are both in there as well, beating up the car in the barrels. The training stage with all its great options, so if you want to get in there and practice your combos or setups or techniques, we've got the full featured training mode. Player data, of course, your records and things like that. And then Figurine Collection is a great new feature for the 3DS. Fun little thing, collectible mini games. There's hundreds and hundreds of figures that you can unlock in the game, and they all have little stats, and you can assemble like a team of your figures and actually battle against other people and their figures. And you can do this in Street Pass mode, which means we don't have to actually do anything. We can just be walking around, pass each other on the street, whatever it might be, at a show, at a tournament, and we'll battle. And then I can open it up later and see what the result of that battle was, how my figures did. And you can also assign your statistics to the figures and move their stats around a little bit. So it's just a fun little mini game, but you can also trade the figures, and it's pretty cool.
Do you win anything if you defeat someone? It's not like Pokemon, right, where you're just earning everybody's?
You actually do earn points and things like that. So what you can do is use those points to get new figurines. There are also exclusive figurines once in a while. If you happen to go to maybe a special Capcom event or something like that, we may hand out a special code for a unique like gold Chun-Li figurine.
Is this foreshadowing?
It's actually already happened once at something in Japan, and we're going to be doing it pretty regularly as we roll this out. So keep your eyes peeled for some of those exclusive figurines, and then the only way to get those afterwards is to trade with somebody who might already have them.
All right.
But cool stuff.
As far as the actual game goes, this is the Super Street Fighter that we know. From a gameplay standpoint, what about the visuals?
Visuals are, I really think they speak for themselves. So you don't need to, I don't need to sell it, I hope. I think it really looks beautiful. Nintendo's been super supportive of the product. We're really proud of what we were able to do, and we really spent a lot of time tweaking not just the visuals for the particular 3D, the 3DS unit, but also to get the 3D and the angles to really pop. So I think it really creates a great overall experience. We've had amazing feedback from everybody who's seen it so far. And you can try the dynamic 3D view to really see that in full action. And then I usually switch back to the sort of traditional 2D mode, or side to side. It still has full 3D effects, but it's in sort of traditional side to side view.
Now, in terms of just content, with all the costumes and whatnot that we know from Super Street Fighter, it's all here.
It is, in fact. So you've got actually costumes that were formerly downloadable. Additional content are now included right from the start. So you get your 2 alternate costumes right out of the gates. All the characters are unlocked right from the start, and so no messing around with that. You have selectable ultra combos, everything you'll remember.
Nice. Now, have to point out that it's possible to use the touchscreen to do some modes. You want to talk to us about how that could be good or bad when you're playing online, for example?
Sure, totally. So one of the fun things about this game is that you've got not just sort of the traditional, of course, all your traditional inputs work. So if you want to do a fireball with quarter circle forward and hit the button at the right time, all that's still there, and that's available in every mode. But what we also have done is to tweak the controls specifically for the 3DS using the touch panel. It's split into 4 sections, so you have 4 buttons that are completely customizable by you. And in a simple mode, or the light mode as we call it, you can assign special moves, even super combos or ultra combos directly to that touch panel. So when they become available, if you have enough meter, whatever it might be, you can just touch that and execute at the touch of a button, which is really fantastic for new players. Crusty old timers like me will sort of frown about that, but I gotta say, I spend a lot of time in that mode and have a lot of fun because there's, whatever, I've struggled to do my standing 720s with Zangief. I don't struggle anymore. I've got it at the touch of a button. But again, if you don't want to play those guys online, like you were mentioning, you've got an option to select. So you can say, I don't care, I'll play against anybody, or I'd prefer to only play against people in pro mode like me who are using, the traditional special move inputs, or, I want to play only against other light mode players. So it's up to you.
Now, one of the DS-specific features of this game does take advantage of the crazy pedometer coin thing that they've built into it. So for folks that know Street Fighter, you're earning points as you're playing, and that kind of increases your level. But you now have figure points, which you use to get, 500 figurines or something?
A lot, yeah. And you can basically, use play coins. You can convert those directly into points that you can use for the in-game figurines, which is pretty cool.
Now, one thing that you'd probably be willing to share is the game itself, and it seems like there is a demo for somebody that's got the game with friends that don't have it. So how does that going to work?
So basically, you go into the download play option menu, or menu option, and then it's really simple. So I can basically just send the game to you, even if you haven't got it. And actually, I can send it to somebody else. So it's a limited version of the game, but you can play versus mode with Ryu only. But you can actually play against me if I have the game and I've shared with you. But if I share with you and another one of your friends that doesn't have it, I could actually leave, and you guys could still play each other as long as you're content to play Ryu. But that's it's really fun. So I can walk away, and you guys can play that on your own, and it's the full experience. So it's really great.
Now, for folks that do want this, you're here to pimp the fact that while you can get this in stores, there's other options for people, and they get something kind of snazzy for their neck.
Oh yeah, we've got, one of our most popular items. People always ask us for Capcom lanyards. So we've got a great Capcom lanyard with some of Ryu's kanji on here, and a nice little lenticular card here, and it will also hold on to your 3DS. So it's a gift with purchase at the Capcom store. Definitely check it out. Good people.
Nice. All right, well, thank you, Seth. And there you go. That is your last look at Super Street Fighter 4 3D Edition for the 3DS, because as of tomorrow, that thing is out.
Out everywhere.
Out everywhere. If you really are set on the lanyard, you got to hit Capcom up for that and get it on their online store. And I'm sure you guys will have those for a little while yet.
I wouldn't wait too long if I was you.
All right, well, there you go. Act now. So the game is going to be out tomorrow along with the hardware, so be sure and check the site for a full review, which we've got, as well as a bunch of information on the 3DS. But until then, back to the show.